We mentioned earlier also that in a generation that consumes information more than it consumes food, right? We have to really filter the information that we're taking, only the ones which are relevant for us and the ones which are relevant to the people we are communicating with, especially kayo that you are doing this, no? You are trying to learn this so that you can enhance your performance in your job, right? We need to take note of active listening. So I'd like to ask someone to read the definition of active listening. Who was the one earlier? It was Din earlier. So can I ask somebody else this time? Anyone who'd like to read the definition of active listening?
Yeah.
Yes, Shirley. Thank you very much.
Active listening is a way of listening that focuses entirely on what the other person is saying and confirms understanding of both the content of the message and the emotions and feelings underlying the message to ensure that understanding is accurate.
Thank you so much, Lay. So focuses entirely. Focuses entirely. Like when we listen to that person, it's as if he or she is the only person who exists in the entire world during that moment that we catch, right? That we catch not just every word that this person is telling us, but even the emotional undertone, the feelings of that person while talking. Like sometimes people would say something, but they mean something else. Have you experienced that? Yung mga subordinates niyo, pag-kausap kayo, okay lang po, ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am, okay lang po talaga. Promise, ma'am. Have you experienced that? Like, you feel something else underneath the okay lang po. Right? Yung medyo may pagka, ano ba, especially you guys are bosses. You have, di ba, subordinates. Yung medyo may pagka, ano ba, I don't want to say passive-aggressive but it happens, right? It happens in the workplace, right? Sige nga. How did you, question lang, no? How did you clarify or validate when you feel like a different meaning is said in between the lines? Like minsan ganito, no? Yes, ma'am, naintindihan ko po. Yes, ma'am, naintindihan. Opo, naintindihan ko po, ma'am. So, would you believe that kind of face? Or even if that's over the phone, sige, question na lang. Like, in your personal lives, if you know the person very well, and you're talking over the phone, okay ka lang ba? And then the person said, oo, okay lang ako. Or like, lasing ka ba? Hindi ako lasing. That's just over the phone. So, would you be able to tell? Like, there's another meaning in what was said. And how do you normally validate? Yes, Glay.
For me, I base it on their, if in any case there's a video or in person, I can validate with their facial expression, um, and their body language as well. Sometimes the body their facial expression is not matched with their words, there are instances like that. And if it's in the call, maybe I can distinguish it sometimes by their tone, if it's happy or irritated. Sometimes you can catch with their tone. And in messaging, it's hard, but for me, I have to see the history first, so I can
You can go back to the thread, right?
right. And that's it. And how do I validate those emotion or underlying message? Is first is checking in or catching up with them.
Mm.
It's not first I'm not first is that I will check in how are you like that, or any superficial message at first, introduction. Then um afterwards I can confirm it. Are you overworked, or um um do you feel any pressure regarding the workload? Is there anything that I can help to ease that? Something like that.
All right. Thank you, Glay. Naisip ko when you said the word pressure, it's like thinking of the line, do you feel any pressure right now? So yeah, so thank you very much. Let's the means that you mentioned are all good ways on how to validate, right? Your if your recipient got the message, or if you got it, if you got their feedback correctly. Anybody else? Now here, what are the goals of active listening? First one, can somebody please read that? We're just enumerating. Some of these were already mentioned earlier, and some of you are already using it. Anybody? Sige. Anyway, there are like a couple of numbers here naman. So is it okay if I just call your names, no? Sige. I'd like to hear from, I think I already heard Din, I already heard Lay. So Glay, I would like to hear from Shallow. Shallow, please read the first one.
Okay. Goals of active listening. Number one is to clarify content of the message.
Thank you so much, Shallow. So clarify means to ask if you understood it correctly, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. And the next one, let's hear from Catherine.
Number two, verify any non-verbal messages.
Thank you very much, Catherine. This was mentioned by Glay earlier when she said that she'd look for the facial expression, the body language, and the tone of the voice if ever they're talking over the phone. So thank you so much.
Gather additional information.
Thank you, Din. So just to make sure that there are things that we did not miss. Next one, number 4, Glay, let's hear from you again.
Provide a genuinely personal
I like this one. Glay, thank you so much. I'd like to ask you guys okay, in your experience, say you're talking, this time you're talking to your superior, your boss. How will you know if you were really heard? If you are really understood. Okay, or let me change the question. In case you are communicating with your superior, with your boss, what gesture will make you feel that your boss really listened to you? what would make you say in your head or after that conversation, ay, naintindihan niya ako.
For me, Anna,
Yes,
it's if for me if my superior validates what I'm or at least acknowledges what I'm saying or um that's it. Acknowledges or validates what I'm saying or what I'm requesting. And also responding.
Okay, to your need, responsive, validating, acknowledging. All right, those are good ones. Thank you, Glai. Anybody else? Or take a look at your own experience. Those instances when you communicated or interacted with your boss. How was it like? Yes, Din.
I think if there's a change in the situation, say for example, I escalated a concern, then I would know if he or she understood me if there's a change in the situation, or maybe there's an action plan for the situation.
All right, Din. Thank you so much. Very concrete yung gusto ni Din, right? Pag may nangyaring pagbabago. Kapag may plano, pag may plan of action, right? Yes, I agree. And that's very important, especially if it's job related and it's process related, right? Thank you so much, Din. Anybody else? So here's number 4, right? Goals of active listening. We have to provide a genuinely personal response. How can we provide a genuinely personal response? Now, this time, you are the boss. You are the boss. From your experiences, being acknowledged, heard by your boss, by your own boss, how will you make sure that you'll be able to give the same positive experience to your subordinates when it's your turn to communicate with them? Yes, Catherine, you're raising your hand.
For me, maybe asking some questions about the matter that I've been heard from my subordinates.
Thank you, Catherine. So there's the clarification, right? We can't I don't want to conclude yet, but that's one. There's a clarification. What else, Glai?
For me, I let her or I let him or her talk first, then to get the information that I need or what he or she is feeling relating to the matter. And afterwards, after he talks and he let her opinions or requests or other stuff, then I will talk about it and validate first is to validate that his feelings or any request is being heard. Then I will explain I will explain also on my side why is that possible or not.
All right.
So
So
that's it.
yeah, but before expressing your idea, you want to make sure that they are heard first.
Yes.
And again, about the clarification, the validation, the acknowledging. Thank you so much, Glai. Anything else? Meron pa ba? Okay. Anyway, take a look at your answers. I was asking earlier, how can you provide a genuinely personal response? And you went back, most of you went back to clarification, to verification, listening to them first, because we cannot provide a personalized response that is very specific to their situation and to what they are asking about if we do not listen. We can only personalize our interaction with our subordinates or our teammates if we have listened enough. So that is the goal of one of the goals of active listening. And lastly is, have I asked Catherine? I think I haven't. Yes, Catherine, kindly read number 5.
Number 5, promote problem-solving behavior.
Thank you so much, Catherine. So you see, guys, you can look at number 5. After we have clarified, verified, gathered information, and acknowledged them by giving a personalized response, that's the only time that we're going to give a solution. That's the only time that we're going to say, give an advice or gather any opinion from them as to how to solve the problem or the conflict, right? We don't go into the problem solving right away. Naranasan nyo na ba yon? Yung gusto nyo lang talagang magkwento. Gusto nyo lang talaga mag-share. Tapos, pagkatapos mong magkwento, the person would like to fix the situation right away. When your problem is really, you're just really almost burnt out at work. This mostly happens not at work, but in our personal interactions, right? So you're talking to your husband or you're talking to your friend and they're too excited to cut you off because they want to give a solution already to your problem. Have you experienced that? You haven't? Is anybody, okay, how about this? Like, somebody is telling you something, and in your mind, ito very common to, very common. Somebody's telling you something, right? And in your mind, while they're talking, you're already formulating in your head what you're going to respond to them. Even before they finished what they're about to say, nag-iisip ka na ng solusyon sa isip mo. Tapos hindi pa sila natatapos. Alam mo kasi, ganito yung gagawin natin dyan. You have that tendency. Anyone does that have that tendency? It's okay, no judgments.